I feel like I am in a matrix world. That's what I feel like. Um, I've took some footage of my front porch and I turned it into the classic invert. And when I was viewing my porch from the classic invert, look at the colors. Just looking at it, it's like it is like I'm in a matrix. That's what I feel like walking on it. I said, this does look like a matrix. Viewing my porch, my yard, the trees in that mode. I was actually trying to see if I could see anything that was not visible to my naked eye, is what I tried to do. Try to see if I could see anything that was not visible to my naked eye. I saw that cloud. I thought, wow, that's a nice looking cloud, is what I said. But this right here, you all, that would be really extremely kind of wild if we truly did live in a matrix. It would be so wild. There are people who do believe that we live in a matrix. Yeah, hello, you all. If you're just tuning in, this is wild. Of course, I got a filter on me, but this right here in my yard, it is it's in the inverted mode, is what it's in. I'm looking at my phone too while I've got you all on here, looking down at it. Simulated, yeah, simulated reality. And I find myself wondering why. Can you all hear me? I find myself wondering, why do they have those different filters and things on your phone? Now that looks really beautiful. It really does. It that looks like a purple world. It does, and it looks really. I love it. I do. It makes my floor look all shiny, but it does not look real. In this mode, it does not look like my porch. It looks like another reality, is what it looks like. What if the color spectrum really is this color? What if our color spectrum is this color and it's not just green and blue skies and stuff? And I don't know how that grape leaf turned purple in the classic inverted mode. I really don't. I don't know how that grass turned purple either. It's supposed to be green grass. And that tree, look at it, you all. It's another dimension. It looks like another dimension and another world. It does, you all, because we know that. Well, maybe I'm not sure of what things look like in the inverted mode. What the colors are supposed to look like. Well, I know they look like this, but look at all the vibrance. And you ever seen that Avatar? They're blue. The Avatar people. You know the movie The Avatar? And I think when they go to another place, their world looks totally different. Totally different. It doesn't like match up or anything. Hello, you all. It is neat, Christine, honey. And I thought, what am I going to do a video on? I wanted to see if I could see anything in the sky. I did, so I recorded. I was looking in these bushes too for interdimensional beings, see if I could see any cloaked in the other dimension. I thought I seen some at times. I did, but it's wild. It's so wild, and purple leaves that are normally green in the inverted mode. The human eye sees very little on the interior spectrum. Do you think there's the moon right there? I was looking for the moon. I was going to film the moon and I couldn't find it. I guess it was hiding behind the tree. I found it in the sky. It makes a person wonder, really, when you look at something like this, and then I think, How do those green trees in the woods, why are those blue, bluish, dark bluish purple, and these are pinkish purple and with some white in it? Yeah, it looks like when you're looking at the vibrations of objects in plants. That's interesting. It really is interesting, you all. I had to upload this to a private video on my YouTube page, this right here, and I've actually got my YouTube private video playing, and I've got it brought up here on this OBS studio so you can see it at the same time. And I think it's like 7 minutes long or something. But it's the wildest thing. I don't recall looking at it like this before. I really don't. Look how beautiful it looks. It does. It does look beautiful. Would we? Well, if I was in there and I was inverted, I would be blue. I would be blue like the avatars, because that's what we look like in the inverted mode. Our skins are blue. So why did they do the avatars with blue skin? That Avatar movie. That's what's getting me too, looking at this like that. Yeah, the heat of the plants. Well, I thought it was the heat of the plants, but I think maybe it's the shadow of the plants is what I'm thinking. Maybe the shadow of them or something. Hello. Some ERs have blue colors. Emergency rooms? The Arcturian star people are blue. Yeah. Whoopsie, Gina, honey. I gotta come over here, you all. It was not as long as I thought. Let me put myself back on there, you all. Oh, I had to rewind that video. I wanted it to loop and not turn like that. Yeah, and if you have an iPhone, you have the option to turn your iPhone into an inverted viewer with things that you look. You go into the settings, you go into accessibility, and then you go into display and text size, and then you scroll down and you'll see classic invert. Hit that classic invert, and that will bring you to this setting right here. And then when you're done viewing whatever you're viewing, you can even watch videos in that mode because it turns your whole entire phone into a viewer. But I had I recorded my screen while it was recording my my porch and the yard. Yeah, hello there, Apple Brooks. We should all have a movie night. Well, I don't know what the movie night would be. I really don't, because you can't share things that are like copyright protected and stuff like that, and then everybody don't have the same taste of movies. They really don't. And then I would just look at stars. That's what I'd like to, just look at stars and get mesmerized. And then, or yeah, it's just there would be different tastes in movies and things like that. There really would be. I'm gonna pause it as soon as I get on my porch. Boom! I'm gonna pause it. Gina, are you gonna pause it? Yeah, I'm gonna pause it right there. Okay, I paused the video right there, you all, so we can have that pretty pink there. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Hello there, Kelly. Yeah. So a matrix. Would we even notice, or would we even, I don't know. Some people swear up and down we're in a matrix. They really do. Up and down that we're in a matrix. And oopsie. I don't know about that. I really don't. But what if we are and we don't even realize it? And I was thinking about how can people see ghosts? How can people see spirits? If this dimension is all we have, this world of ours, and we're the only living beings in this world that we're in, how come we can see beings from the other dimension? Because that's a realm, another world. If ours was not intermingling with it somehow, I don't know how you would say it, clashing with it, like a clashing of worlds or something like that. How could that be? How can people see spirits and things like that, and ghosts, because they're from another dimension and or another world, while we're still in this world, unless it's literally, blending in with our world that we live in. And then would ghost, they have instruments that they can catch apparitions with, that they can pick up their signature. Some of the cameras do. If you've looked at some people's cameras, they pick up the silhouettes of what looks like spirits and beings. Some are good and some aren't. And the cameras and stuff, they pick up orbs also. And people can see these other interdimensional beings and stuff like that. So how can it be if this world that we live in is if we have the mindset that it's the only world, how can they have any information about spirits, or how can people hear them and see them? And how can children say that they hear and they see, like spirits of other people, other children and stuff like that? How can any of that be if this world right here is supposed to be all there is, this very life? I think there's so much more to it. I really do. But in this case right here, I feel like I was walking in a matrix, and if I would have turned the phone to me, I would have been blue like those avatars and or blue avians. I would have been blue. You all can do that too. You can turn yourself to where you look like you're blue, and just wonder why they did the movie with the avatars that are blue, because it's in the inverted mode. So would that represent the negative side of us? Maybe we have two sides to us and we don't know it. I don't know. It's a lot of questions. Holes in the dimension will bring in many things. Just like CERN wants to bring in many things. They really do. They want a parallel world. And what would come through that parallel world? Because it would, some say we're already in it. Some say they destroyed our universe and we're already in that parallel world. And perhaps we are, because if you were to go down the road, I've done this too myself. I've been coming home, and I thought for sure I saw my husband's Jeep go right past me with him in it. And I'm sitting there thinking, he's supposed to be working. How can he be in the car going somewhere? And I pull up in the driveway, and there's our car in the driveway, his car. But I could have swore I passed it 1 mile from our house. And or like you may have the same thing. We're talking about parallel worlds, parallel dimensions, the multiverse or whatever. People may say, well, I just saw you over here. And you say, well, that's impossible. I've always been here. And they insist, no, I just talked to you. I just saw you. It was great seeing you. And or mistaking you for somebody else. So there's something going on really strange. And I wonder when people started seeing that. I spoke to this girl, this friend, her name was Vivian, and she saw herself in the parking lot in a grocery store. I can't remember how it went, but she got out of her car, she went into the store, she did whatever, and then when her real self noticed that she saw her other self, and she was coming out of the store with the same person who was pushing her groceries, her car was in a different parking spot. And he didn't realize it. He was going to the one parking spot. She said, "No, my car's over there." And he didn't know how she realized, how she knew that. But yeah, she literally, I think, witnessed two realities just like that. Have you all done that? Literally saw yourself witnessing two yous and stuff like that? Um, our dreams or whatever. Yeah, we're spiritual beings, spiritual beings. We are. Um, yeah, so it's strange. And could you imagine if CERN really is successful and they open up something and they're happy at first, but then they want to close whatever it is that they open, but they can't, and or whatever came through, they can't make it go back out. That would be really bad, especially if it was not for the best of humanity. Yeah. So if you're just tuning in, I feel like I'm in a matrix. This right here, it was I was walking on my front porch, checking it out in the inverted mode is what I was doing. And I thought, it really does. It looks like a matrix. It doesn't even look real. And I'm sitting there thinking, how come it doesn't look real? But then I thought, well, what if this is really what it looks like, and we're just seeing the green and stuff with different sets of eyes because we can't see the full spectrum or something like that, you all. Yeah, something. That's right, you all. That's right. Yeah. Well, I am going to go, you all. This is my 5th video tonight. The 5th video today. So I'm going to go. I don't want to keep you all on here too long at all because that's a lot of videos to look at or to not look at. But it's okay. It's something to think about, really. Could this be a reality, a world that has colors like this? Especially when you think of the movie, the Avatar, I think it was, they were blue and they would go to sleep and they would get in a different body and they were in a totally different world. Yeah, like a totally different dimension. There could be something to it. There really could be. So thank you all for listening. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And thank you, Apple Brooks, for being on here. And if there's any other moderators, thank you too. Have a wonderful evening, you all. Love you.